What if the biggest hindrance to Africa's prosperity isn't a lack of resources, but a lack of leadership integrity? As the second largest and second most populous continent on Earth, Africa pulses with a vibrant mix of cultures, languages, and people. Its natural wealth is astounding, a treasure trove of minerals, fertile lands, and diverse wildlife. Yet the question lingers: why does Africa grapple with poverty, conflict, and underdevelopment? The answer lies not in what Africa lacks, but in what it has in abundance: corruption. The spectre of corruption haunts the halls of power, from the bustling markets of Lagos to the serene landscapes of Mozambique. It gnaws at the roots of progress, stunting growth and breeding inequality. Consider the case of Mozambique's former finance minister, Manuel Chang, implicated in a $2 billion debt scandal, or Zimbabwe's president, whose administration stands accused of mismanaging public funds and abetting illicit gold trade. These are not isolated incidents, but symptomatic of a continent-wide malaise. But imagine for a moment an Africa where leaders unite in a relentless pursuit of integrity. An Africa where public office is a beacon of service, not a gateway to self-enrichment. What would that Africa look like? It would be an Africa whose economies thrive on the fair distribution of resources, where the wealth of the land benefits its people, not a select few. It would be an Africa whose leaders prioritize the needs of their citizens, investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. It would be an Africa that takes its rightful place on the world stage, not as a beggar with an outstretched hand, but as a titan with much to offer. The transition from the current state of Africa to this ideal is not a pipe dream. It's a possible reality, one that requires a collective commitment to combat corruption. It demands leaders who are accountable, transparent, and guided by a sense of duty to their people. And it's not just up to the leaders. It also calls for the active participation of citizens, international bodies, and global allies. The fight against corruption is a shared responsibility. It requires vigilance, activism, and a refusal to turn a blind eye to injustice. So, what can you do? Support organizations that work tirelessly to expose and combat corruption in Africa. Advocate for policies that promote transparency and accountability. Educate yourself and others on the realities of corruption and its devastating impact. Your voice matters. Your actions can make a difference. The battle against corruption in Africa is a fight for the soul of a continent. It's a fight for a future where African children grow up in societies that value integrity, fairness, and the common good. It's a fight that we cannot afford to lose. Remember, a better world starts with a better Africa, and a better Africa starts with leaders who serve with integrity and citizens who demand nothing less. And so, as the sun sets over the African savanna, one thing remains clear. The time for change is now. The time to usher in an era of African leadership that is accountable, transparent, and corruption-free is now. Africa is ready.